Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, I'm going to be looking at the GMC Sierra AT4X AEV Edition. This is the HD, by the way. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Provo GMC for giving me some time with this truck. I'll include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have. If you have any questions, just ask for Alec. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. Powering this is a 6.6 liter turbo diesel V8 that goes through a 10-speed. It puts out 470 horsepower and then 975 pound-feet of torque. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So the front end of this truck I think looks incredible. First off, you've got the giant hood vent there in the center, and then I think GMC's C-shaped headlights work really well on the HD trucks. Just a really sharp design. And then the coloration on the grille, got the AT4X logo there on the other side, and then this bumper from AEV just really completes the package. Not only is this actually hardcore for off-road use, it's got great recovery points, you got extra skid plates underneath, so there's a lot to like about how this truck looks and the functionality it has. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 305 by 70 by 18 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see here with the wheels, the Salta wheels, so that's made by AEV, really cool looking. And I've been told you can fit bigger tires on this, 37s to be exact. You might have to do a little bit of cutting here at the front end, but you know, 37s, isn't it worth it? Anyways, you get the Multimatic shocks with this package. Huge fender flares, you got the giant, I mean look how big this badging is. I got big hands. Yeah, it's crazy how big they do the badges on the HD trucks. Here's your full side profile. Really cool stance. Look at that. I think that looks great. And then you got the bedside step. And then they still utilize leaf springs with these HD GMCs. And then you can see the other Multimatic shock. And this leads us to the key fob where we've got our lock and unlock function, remote start. We got the tailgate drop down, the GMC logo, and pop it down. Now taking a look at the bed, first off we're going to lower the tailgate itself with the this one's the multi-pro because the Chevy's the multi-flex. I always get them mixed up. Kicker sound system, I think this is complete overkill. I'm sure some people care about this, but for me, just one more thing to break. And then you can see we've got lights here on the bed. We've got an outlet as well. And then this actually has fifth wheel prep too. Now lifting this up, just leave it in this state and then just all the way up. Kind of like a big bicep curl. Got all the badging here on the back. Interesting, the Sierra 2 had blacked out badging, but the Sierra goes for chrome. We've got the AEV bumper there as well with recovery points. And the taillights, again, all of it looks really good. I think this is my favorite HD truck in terms of the aesthetic. Now this leads us inside, and the interior is really cool. So you can see the nice leather trim throughout, like the stitching and everything. Power side steps. And then here are the back seats. They've got the storage, which is another nice feature. Yeah, nice trim all over. You can see here with the flat loading floor, and getting in, it's pretty easy. I like how they're stitching on the grab handle. Good leg room. We got a little storage pocket. We've got some cup holders, heated seats, USB vents, all of that. And then headroom back here is great. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see here with all of the trim. And then we've got all of our window controls. Front two are automatic. Mirror adjustments, the mirrors do power fold in. Get your memory seat function, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. Payload on this truck is 2,591 pounds. Softer suspension, this package. And here's a quick look at the front seat. Do have massage seat function. And then you can see here with the driveline select, notice we've got a four-wheel drive auto as well as the two-speed transfer case. And then we've got that for the drive mode select, all the light controls, heads-up display, and then the steering wheel is manually adjustable. Now here's a quick look at the steering wheel. You guys can see soft touch all around. You got radio controls there on the back, a bunch of practical controls in the front, including for the center. We've got our cruise control with the heated steering wheel button there, and then we've got turn signal windshield wiper stock, and then a good old-fashioned column shifter. Full digital gauge cluster, which we can use to scroll through and see different bits of info and systems within the truck. And we also have our drive mode select. You can switch between the off-road and the normal mode. 360 camera with this. really good resolution all throughout, so I think that's a big plus. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, quick response time. With the screen, you got the shortcut bar there on the side. You got this little auxiliary tab there. So there's quite a bit happening, and then also you get a couple physical buttons. Big engine stop start. We've got our dual zone climate with our heated and ventilated seats, diesel exhaust brake here. See the lane departure, parking sensors, tailgate drop down, stability control, all the windows at once if you want to roll them down. We've got a rear locking differential, hill descent control too. Trailer brake controls integrated, some cup holders. Here's center console, got a wireless phone charging pad. I like this AT4X there, that's nice. It's being a nice heads-up display, and then got this fancy trim all across the dash. Double glove box here. Nice trim on the outside. Camera rear view mirror. We've got a fancy headliner, sunroof, and then power sliding rear window. Now it's kind of hard to see because of the glare, but the diesel's like over 9 grand. The AT4X AEV Edition's almost 10 grand. So anyways, 105,000, or just over 105,000 is the total MSRP. It's like 105,690 something, lots of numbers. Let's see how it drives. Well, GMC Sierra AT4X AEV Edition. This is one of my favorite trucks. I'm actually gonna set the seat up. So what I've discovered is these trucks, the seatbelt's not stretching at all. I'm gonna have to take that off. I'm getting to the top. These trucks have such a big hood, such a big dash that it's almost best to sit the seat up and, you know, obviously leave a little bit of space between you and the headliner in case you go over a big enough bump so you don't smash your head into the top. But yeah, it makes the driving experience, in my opinion, a lot better. But what I will say is I kind of wish it didn't have a sunroof so it didn't come down so low, because if it didn't come down so low, I could sit the seat up even a little bit higher and really be able to see over the hood. 360 camera system helps out, but the only downside about these trucks is just how big this whole thing is over the dash. Ooh, squishy suspension. So I just drove a ZR2 earlier today. It will be interesting to see how this compares to the ZR2. Feels a little bit smoother with the suspension. It has less payload, so I'm wondering if they did even softer springs on this compared to the ZR2. Because it is substantial enough to where it's perceivable. The seats are not as comfortable as the ZR2s. They do have massage function, which is nice, but they aren't quite as comfortable. Man, where's all this traffic? What time is it? I'm wondering where this traffic's coming from. 1:47. Huh. Usually there's not a lot of traffic at this time of the day because everyone's already done the lunch break thing. Oh, I forgot. It's a holiday. Got a bunch of yuppies running around town. That's what it is. Okay, so we should be good to finally go. Torque for years. Yeah, this is really smooth. Again, you still get a little bit of bumpiness you get with an HD truck, but it's diminished greatly compared to what you typically experience. And if you put even bigger tires on this, that would diminish it even more. But yeah, I'll say this is nice for an HD truck. All the uneven parts and the bumps and everything, it handles them well. You can imagine that would be a benefit off-road. That's kind of what this truck's about. The one thing is, I don't know if I'd ever want to take one of these off-road because of how big and heavy it is. The off-roading I do, at least, where we go up real mountains, you can see we got mountains here. Having something this wide, this long, this heavy, yeah, I don't know about that. Boy, oh boy, is that power addicting. Goodness gracious. It's a rocket ship. So to sum things up, my favorite HD truck in the market. It's expensive, so you know it's a good thing it's the favorite because it's over $100,000 for goodness sakes. But the reason I like this, it's weird. The reason I like this more than the ZR2 is comes down to the looks and the interior, which makes no sense in my mind because get this, folks. I like the 1500 ZR2 more than I like the 1500 AT4X Sierra. But then I like the 2500 AT4X more than I like the 2500 ZR2. And they're literally same thing HD versus, it doesn't make any sense. It literally is not logical whatsoever, but that's just, I don't know. That's how my brain works with these trucks. It's super weird. It's super, super weird, but let me know your thoughts.